a theme, touchstone to recognize a standard by which we're recognized. Okay, we know who we are. There's a standard. We talk about the standard all the time. It's not just the way we perform on Sunday, it's how we go about our life on and off the field. We got to take advantage of every opportunity. Seize everything, man. Carpe Omnia.
It's week number 18 of this NFL season, and time for another edition of the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy, here inside the Globe Life studio at the beautiful Star in Frisco. Bill Jones along with Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. It's the Cowboys and the Washington Commanders regular season finale. 3:25 kickoff Dallas time on Sunday, and you've got everything right there. The slogan at the beginning of the season, Carpe Omnia, seizing everything, and here it is. You got a division title at stake on Sunday afternoon.
Oh, definitely. I think it's just another illustration on how you just keep playing in this league, and the NFL is so competitive each and every week, and that'll definitely be the case this Sunday. I mean, when you look at the whole realm of the league, this Sunday is really the start of the playoffs. You got so many games that are going to be determining seeds, who gets in, who doesn't get in. So, and it's no different for us. So I think our guys have done a great job just staying the course. There's always highs and lows in every year. We definitely experienced ours, and we have an opportunity to win the division and get the number 2 seed.
If you put an offensive game plan in against Ron Rivera's Washington defense, two guys stand up, and when you look at that Washington defense, there's been a lot of changes there, but when you got Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne there in the middle of that defensive line, that's pretty menacing.
I mean, it's really been that way. I know in my time here, 93 and 94, it's you start every offensive game plan with those guys, excellent players. Obviously, command the respect that they will be given on Sunday.
7 Pro Bowlers announced, 3 on offense on earlier in the week. Let's start with Dak Prescott, his 3rd Pro Bowl. And when you see his progress this season, what is it that has impressed you the most about what Dak has done?
Well, growth. I think like anything, as a player and a coach, when you're if you're ignorant to growth, you're definitely going to go the wrong way in this industry. And his ability to work every single day and continue to grow, connect not only with his teammates, as we always talk about him as a leader, but the passing game. I think his connection with the perimeter group and what we put on his plate, particularly in the protection responsibility, he's done an excellent job. But I think he's also given himself a foundation where he can continue to grow from. So just he's had a hell of a year.
And CeeDee Lamb also headed to the Pro Bowl, and with good reason. The game on Saturday night, another indication of just how remarkable his season has been. Now, has 8 straight games with touchdowns. He's up there nearly 1,700 yards receiving. He leads the league in receptions. His consistency week in and week out has been so impressive.
The thing is, handling success and really sustaining success is, in my opinion, the biggest challenge the players face. And CeeDee's ability to sustain the success, especially with all the extra attention that he gets from the defenses week in and week out, to me it just speaks volumes of him and his ability to continue to move around and do all the little things to make it happen.
And Zach Martin, his 9th Pro Bowl, and when you look at Cowboys all-time Pro Bowlers, he's now tied with the great Randy White, 5th all-time with 9 Pro Bowls in his career. You talk about consistency throughout his now 10-year career, but with all the things that are going on that offensive line, when you've got Zach Martin there at right guard, you have to love that as a coach every
definitely.
week.
Obviously, Zach is, he's been playing at a Pro Bowl, level his whole career, and I think when you talk about the definition of consistency, not only just the way he plays, but the way he prepares. I mean, he's here through the whole offseason. He's that guy every day, the early guy, helps the young guys. Just an extremely consistent leader, and obviously a consistent Pro Bowl player.
All right, we're just getting started on this edition of the Mike McCarthy Show. Up next, it's David Moore of the Dallas Morning News.
We locked in to start the offense. Obviously, we locked in. How the offense is flowing, man. Anything that Dak wants, he can get to. Run, pass, RPO, scramble, whatever it is, it's available for him. And once we get that ball rolling, it's over.
The Mike McCarthy Show, presented by Reliant, is brought to you by Ford. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. And by Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. Bill Jones now joined by David Moore of the Dallas Sporting News, SportsDayDFW.com, Cowboys and Commanders. And David, this is an opportunity for this Cowboys team to notch its 12th win of the season. That would be 3 straight years with 12 wins in a season. That is an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's not that far back. I believe the Cowboys had 3 straight 8-8 seasons, and we were commenting on that.
And before that, 3 straight 5-11 seasons.
5-11, yeah. So they're trending in the right direction now. And to me, the other thing that's important here, this is and they're also in the postseason for the 3rd consecutive year. That's the first time this franchise has done that since the 90s during the Super Bowl run. And to me, what happened this past week is a great example of what putting yourself in the mix year in and year out does for you. Because it's not always what you do, sometimes it's what your opponents don't do, right? And, Dallas has been chasing Philly all season. It looked like they were resigned to that number 5 seed, would have to go through there. Then the upset, Arizona upsets Philadelphia. In past years, when Dallas was missing the playoffs every other year, they were around 500. And when a team ahead of them in the standings got upset, it really didn't move the needle. It didn't impact them because they couldn't get up there. But Dallas is continually putting itself at the top of the NFC East mix. And you see the benefit of that just being there year in and year out. And that's a big part of where this program is built to.
Of course, the Cowboys played Washington in the final game last year. Sam Howell made his first NFL start.
Did not go well.
It did not go well for the Cowboys.
Yeah, for the Cowboys, it went fine for him.
And so my question to you is, how far has this Cowboys offense come, and how far has Dak Prescott come in the last year? You look at his numbers from that game, and they were not good in that game.
No, they weren't. I think it was 14 of 37. And also, what was the conversation going at the end of last year, going into the postseason? Dak leading the league in interceptions. Well, now going into this game, Dak Prescott is leading the league in touchdown passes. And I believe if he can finish with that, I think it's only the 2nd quarterback in NFL history to go from most interceptions in one season to most touchdown passes the next. Completely turned it around. He will also tell you it's not just him. It's the receivers are more in sync with his footwork and what his cues are and what he's looking at. And that's made a big difference of everyone being on the same page.
But he's getting hit a lot, and yet he's been able to get the football out. And it probably says a lot to this offense with Mike McCarthy being the play caller now, too.
Yeah, it does. And another thing on the interception, Mike McCarthy was saying he started out one of his first jobs in the NFL. He was a quarterback's coach in Kansas City back when a quarterback, I believe his name was Joe Montana, was there. And Joe Montana had a 1.7 interception rate one year when he led the league. And so that has always been the barometer that Mike McCarthy looks at to determine, okay, if you're at or below here, this is where you need to be as a quarterback. I believe going into this final game, Dak Prescott right now is about at 1.1, 1.2 interception percentage. So outstanding.
Yeah, 3rd in the league, 8 picks and 32 touchdown passes on the season. David Moore, we appreciate it. And up next here on the Mike McCarthy Show, Will McClay joins us. We take a look at some of those playmakers on the Washington offense.
This segment is brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort, the casino of the Dallas Cowboys.
You've got to understand where you are and make that be the fuel to your preparation all throughout the week, which has already started. And as we honestly wrap things up over this next day or so, and then just really define how we want to attack these guys and the plan that we're going into this. Therefore, you just go out there and play the game that we know we can play. On the road, which would be important, and just taking a bunch of confidence into this playoff game out of this game.
I know it's going to be a physical game. This is a physical team that we're playing, and we got to come in with that mindset of, swinging first, getting the first punch and keeping that same mindset throughout the game.
So who are these Cowboys players going up against on Sunday afternoon at Washington? Will McClay is here to break it down. We're going to start on offense. We'll move to defense. Washington seems to love those Alabama players and their running back, Brian Robinson. a member of the Crimson Tide once upon a time, number 8 here.
Take a look at him. He's averaging over 4 yards a carry. What is a big back with vision and power. We'll get a look at all those elements right here. Here they go. He's setting up a block. He sees it, cuts inside, and let's see how many people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys to bring him down. So we've got to rally to the football in the run game.
Okay, so there's an example in the run game. How about the pass game? Sam Howell completing his first year as a starting quarterback in his second year in the league here.
Dangerous quarterback. He's got great arm strength, can make all the touch throws. We'll take a look at some of those here. And his receivers. Here's Jahan Dotson right here. They've got nobody in the middle of the field. He's going to take a look at it, and he's going to throw up a shot. He sees it, sees zero coverage, trusts his receivers. You look at the arc and the placement of the ball. Deep throws is something that he's really, really good at.
Jahan Dotson, a first-round pick last year, and then the third-rounder from 2019, who's now under a nice contract, Terry McLaurin out of Ohio State.
Take a look at him here. Again, the quarterback reading the coverage. You're going to see the coverage. He's going to catch the safety down shallow. He knows he's got McLaurin there. All right, and then the ability of McLaurin to go up and get the ball against 2 people, it's what he does really, really well.
Hal not bashful about throwing there. And then here's McLaurin at the bottom of the screen.
All right, here he goes. He's going to take a shot. They want to put it up. He's got cover 1. He's got press coverage. He's going to take a shot and try and throw it in the hole. All right, that takes arc and touch and then a receiver that's willing to catch it and take the collision.
And there you go, Terry McLaurin, a professional wide receiver. Let's go to defense. One of those Alabama guys up front, Jonathan Allen, big number 93 here.
Yeah, their edge guys are gone, but they've still got these 2 guys inside. Here's Jonathan Allen. Take a look at him here. What he is big, strong, athletic. All right, quarterback gets out of the pocket. Here he is running down a quarterback at about 315 pounds.
So there he is headed to the sideline. And how about getting to the quarterback?
All right, getting to the quarterback. This is man strength right here. It's just a power rush. The clock says it's going to say, but look how quickly he gets there. He gets to the quarterback in under 2, and then just the strength to bring him down one-on-one by himself.
Just an idea of what the Cowboys will face against these Commanders. Our thanks to Will McClay. And the coach rejoins us when the Mike McCarthy Show continues in a moment.
Obviously, it might be their last game, so they willing to put it all on tape, and we understand that. And, may the best man win. We got to go out there, put our best foot forward, play physical, fast, be fearless, and be who we are.
This segment was brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort, the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today.
It's always dangerous to go against someone who has nothing to lose. They can pull out all types of tricks and gambits and gambles because they want to make a statement. We just want to beat the Cowboys and, like I said, their back's against the wall. They want to see what they have for next year and prepare for that. And, we got to go and make a statement and say we are the better team, we are the more dominant, aggressive team, and we just got to prove that Sunday.
Welcome back to the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. As the coach rejoins us, we're getting you set for Cowboys and Commanders. The regular season finale, 3:25 kickoff on Sunday. When you look at this Washington offense, Sam Howell, his first full year as a starter. Of course, he made his first start in the NFL as a rookie last game of last year. Where have you seen him grow as you look at him on tape now leading into this game?
Well, we played him last year. Obviously, that was his first game at the end of the year. Played well against us that day. Obviously, he's in a new offense, very wide open. Obviously, throwing the ball a lot this year. When you watch him play, he's definitely a playmaker. I thought he made a number of plays in the first game at home at AT&T. Spinning out of some potential sacks, and his play extension is top notch. So his ability to throw off the back foot, buy time, it has been very productive for him, and that's those are the things we're focused on.
And has some weapons to work with, including Terry McLaurin, who is a professional wide receiver.
Yeah, their whole perimeter. They have a dynamic perimeter, and Terry's obviously has done it now for a number of years. But yeah, I look at their perimeter as dynamic.
We mentioned Pro Bowlers in the first segment of the show, a couple on the defensive side of the football, Micah Parsons as well as Deron Bland. You look at that Detroit game, and the tackles for loss stand out. And of course, we talk about Micah and his sacks, and he had a couple of tackles for loss in that game. DeMarcus Lawrence had a couple as well. I think there were 7 in all for this defense. It was big as far as stopping that run game.
I mean, it was huge. I mean, and you know, our defense won the big play battle clearly, and that was a big part of it. And I think, you know, Micah and D-Law, I go back in time looking at, you know, my experience with defensive ends. The way D-Law crashes that A and B gap, you know, consistently is I'm just always so impressed with it. And you know, Micah, you know, it takes 2 to block him, and he's so disruptive, and you know, that's a big part of who we are on defense.
You know, Deron Bland, we talk a lot about the interceptions, 8 picks and 5 pick sixes. But, you know, one of the first things that really stood out to me about him was how physical he plays at the cornerback position and comes up and defends the run as well. Where have you seen him, aside from the interceptions and all that stuff, where have you seen him in his second year here really grow?
Deron, when I think of him, I think clearly maturity, because I mean, when he came in, even, you know, last year, played the nickel and played outside. Also, he's mature beyond his years. He's been extremely consistent. You know, the work ethic, the physicality, very good tackler. So I don't know if I've seen a young guy be as consistent. And obviously, he's had the huge plays, you know, particularly with the, you know, the interception returns for touchdowns. But God, he's just such a consistent young player.
Talk about a consistent young player. Your kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is headed to the Pro Bowl, 35 for 35 on field goals. And then Brian Anger as well, for a second time in 3 years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and Brian's the leader of that group. You know, gives those guys great leadership. Obviously, it was a new battery. It's been really cool to watch that come together, you know, especially bringing Brandon in as late as we did in training camp. But, you know, both those guys have had remarkable years. Brandon is unprecedented. And, you know, it's going to be big for us in the playoffs.
All right. We continue with the Mike McCarthy Show in just a moment, our unsung stars of the week.
Yeah, it was really a really cool thing. I was pumped. Really couldn't put it into words, just big smile on my face. And I think the second it happened, my wife, she knew just by the look on my face.
A tremendous honor. Team sport, like I said, I can't do without my guys, so 100% give it up to the rest of them. Yeah, without them, I would not be here. So, yeah, thank you.
This segment was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today.
Each team votes amongst the team members or who the winner is. The winner shows courage, sportsmanship, and a determination to be the best version of himself for his teammates coming off of an injury or personal problem. With that said, I'd like to announce this year's Dallas Cowboy representative, Jordan Lewis.
Final couple minutes here of the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. Time for our unsung stars of the week. I'm going to give it to the 2 interceptors in the game against the Lions, and that would be Jordan Lewis as well as Donovan Wilson. Not only those big plays in the game, you talk about supporting the run, stopping the run. I think Donovan had 11 tackles. Jordan had 6 tackles in the game, and both those guys earned my honors this week, Coach.
Great honors. They also earned game balls, so you're definitely on your game this week, Phil. But no, I think both those guys are, you know, they exemplify the play style and the toughness of a Dallas Cowboy. I just love the way these guys play week in and week out. So competitive, and obviously with the game, at the most important part of the game, they make 2 huge plays.
You know, and Jordan Lewis interception in particular. How about film work during the week and being able to snuff out that screen pass and see it as it was happening? There was a lot of eye candy in the formation before the play even started. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, there's a couple parts to that. Obviously, the recognition of the formation, but then the ability to you know, shoot his gun and break, and then the third part of it is to make the interception. So just a huge play. And another thing with Jordan, you know, he's the Ed Block Courage Award winner for our team. So just coming off that injury, I know we've talked about it time and time again, but it's just remarkable to see him come out of that injury and have the year that he's had.
All right, what a year it's been. It will continue in the postseason next week, and good luck against those Washington Commanders as the Cowboys look to wrap up the division title and head to the playoffs next week, and we will see you again next week here on the Mike McCarthy Show.
The Mike McCarthy Show, presented by Reliant, was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Trusted by millions, trusted by America's team. Ford. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. And by Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys.